We're gonna have to do a mic check. Make sure your mic on. Hold on. All right, we are live. Go, go. Yeah, you know I go to the chat part where you can share your mic. Like, like, go to the chat as if you ready add somebody to the to the chat, right? And then when you click on it, it's the three dots where it say more at. Hit them three dots. Let me know when you get there. All right. You see where it say voice chat settings? Click that and make sure share your voice is allowed.
Okay. I just did it. Can you hear me now?
I'm about to see right now.
I just did it.
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
All right. Yeah, you perfect. Yep. Just gotta be a little louder. Other than that, you straight. All right. We Gucci. All right. Let me get nigga. Let me post this in the chat. Posting it in the chat. First live interview, bitch. We flew all the way to NC State for this interview.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Oregon job interview, bitch. Let's go. All right, we got a lot to talk about on this show today, man. We got a lot to talk about. We got history to talk about when it comes down to the NC State football program inside of our homecoming league. We're gonna find out about the coach, get a little bit of background on him and who he is. Uh, and then we're gonna get into the interview and find out why he should
Georgia
be
coach.
the next
Texas
coach
Tech.
to the Oregon Ducks. And we're gonna show Oregon Ducks. We're gonna show the players and what type of team they got right now, and what type of program that he can actually inherit, and why he should inherit that program. Now, when it comes down to NC State's coaching name, his coach is B. Kemp. Okay, I know y'all know, a lot of y'all know I call Clemson B. Kemp, but his coach is not named B. Kemp. He has a different name for his coach.
UCLA.
So when I'm talking to Big Dave, we're gonna be talking to him as Coach Kemp when it comes down to the hiring of the Oregon job, right? To the interview the Oregon job. But before we get into all that, first of all, let me introduce you. What's going on, man? First of all, how you doing?
God is good.
As
God
all
is
the
good,
time,
man.
all
Yes,
the
sir.
time. Let's go,
Yes,
all the
sir.
time. Most of us that
Hey,
play this game come from a football background. Not a lot of us come from the background you're about to tell us that you came from. But before we get to where you've been, what started you playing football?
that's a good question, man. I get asked that a lot because, like, growing up, I always been like a sports fanatic. But as far as like my first passion was basketball. Like my love for basketball is still there, but you know, big as hell. You feel me? So, and then only like 6 foot, so I knew that was at the that wasn't happening. So, I played probably a little bit of pee wee here and there. I don't think I played in middle school like that. And then I want to say my it was my junior year because I didn't play
This is
my
high school,
freshman and
right?
my
Junior year
sophomore
high
year.
school.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, junior high school. So I didn't play my freshman and sophomore year because the team was ass. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It was mostly a basketball school. It was
Okay.
mostly a basketball school, so I just didn't see the reason to go out there. You know, if anything, I'll just play sports. Ball with my kinfolk and things of that nature. But my homeboys and some of the coaches, I mean, they always see me around and stuff like that, so they just kept asking, like, begging me to come out and play. And I guess I just finally gave in, and I'm grateful for them, for believing in me because, without them even, you know, continuing to ask me to come out and play, I wouldn't have made it as far as I did. So, my hats off is to them. Um,
Now the crazy thing is this: most people don't realize there's a lot of stories out there like that. Everybody's story is unique, right? But like the fact that you really ain't start playing football till your junior year, right? And
yeah,
and
that's
and and, and, and grade take it to where we grade go to. But like the fact that you started playing as a junior, 2 years of high school football, right? Because nobody's gonna count your prep year like the middle school, the pee wee shit. None of it like that.
yeah,
That's the resume of most guys that go all the way with football. They've been playing since 6, 7 years old. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you got actively into playing football in high school and literally your last 2 years of high school. Um,
yes, sir.
so tell me the transition to your junior year, and how did you become who you are, who you became to be the senior? Like the difference between your junior year and your senior year, the first year you played versus the experience of 1 year to going into that second year.
I would say my junior year, as far as just learning how to just be an athlete, as far as working out wise, just be professional. And I was taught. Excuse me. I learned it at a young age, so pretty much just being around my teammates, they helped me as well. They had guys around me pushing me, because I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of lazy, and the coaches would always get on me because they knew they could see my potential when I first
That's what I was
started.
waiting for. I was waiting to hear that part.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so I mean, like, 'cause this, I ain't never really told you the story, but like, um, we was doing workouts. It was like I think it was like summer workouts,
Hmm.
and I'm already like around this time. I'm probably about 275, 280. Man, they put me under the bench. It was like I want to say it was like 135, like or one like close something close to that. And I only could do it like one or two times. I'm like, damn. And I was embarrassed off of that. So that kind of was what triggered
That deciding
me to,
moment. Fuck
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, so
Yep.
once that happened,
Yeah, we all got those.
shit,
Yep.
boy, I was like, hell
I'm
no, it can't be,
275. I only can do
boy.
135 twice.
You
Oh
feel
hell
me?
no.
So that shit changed everything right there. So I had a close friend of mine that we used to train after practice and stuff like that. Cause his dad was like a heavy lifter, so he would just bring some of the lifts that he learned from his pops, and he would do them with me after practice and stuff like that. So that was that was really the main thing. But I still wasn't really just
Shout
taking
out
football
Raymo.
as serious as I should have,
Hmm.
and I really was just real raw. Like I was raw talent. I was just very athletic, and I just would just dominate everybody. Like I literally would be on the field, just no technique, sprint off the ball, pancake here, pancake there, getting up to the second level. I love like pulling. That was my bread and butter right there. So
Okay.
pull plays, anything that had me moving in open space, I loved it. So that really kind of put the
That's the
spotlight on
basketball
me.
athlete in you. That's what that is.
Yeah,
Yep. Falk kind of
so
went through that
that.
same shit. Started playing late, athletic
Hmm.
basketball player and shit, and then grew into the number one tackle in our state. So, all
Yeah,
right. So
that's
look,
dope.
you go through the junior year, and the experience turns you into the monster you became your senior year, to the point where they ran the ball behind you a lot, right? Like Jake had a long conversation with me off air, and he talked about you and how important you was to their y'all run game. When did you start to realize like, yo, I could really do this, and this could take me to another level?
That's a good question. I gotta think about that, man. I gotta think about that. I haven't really thought about that in a little minute. I would say.
Oh, you dealing with a real interviewer right now, cuz. Let's go. Let's go.
um,
I do this. Let's go.
damn, what really decided? Um, To be honest, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Really, I still didn't really see it, man. My life is really like a movie, man. I really still didn't see it, like, even after my senior year. Like, even as dominant as I was, I never really thought about college. I'm gonna start off saying that I never really thought about college. 'Cause I always seen my parents, and I always seen how hard they work. So I always thought I was gonna be a blue collar worker,
Hmm.
and I always wanted to drive 18 wheeler. So I grew up, and my pops had a truck, and that's just something that stuck to me. I always knew that I wanted to drive trucks, so I thought I was gonna do that. And then, after, like I said, from being
100 pancakes later. A hundred
man, it
pancakes
just
later, and then you got colleges knocking your door down. Let's go.
yeah, bro, pretty much, man. It was crazy, man. And then, a couple schools came and did, school visits came and showed me that they really want me to be a part of their team and things of that nature. And man, it was a time, man. It was definitely a time, and
All right.
I'll
So,
be
what
grateful for every
college did
moment.
you decide to choose though after your senior year?
I decided to go to Grambling State.
Grambling State. All right. So you planning the
Grambling State.
HB? Oh man, I know that. I know it was like. How was it going to a HBCU?
Whew. Hey, man. I wish I can go back sometimes for like certain moments.
So it's
Just for certain
it is
moments.
as advertised pretty much.
It is as advertised, man. It is as what's the slogan? I'm trying to think. God damn it. They got a slogan at
HBCU
Grambling.
love.
I want to say where everybody is somebody. It's something of that nature, but
Yes, sir.
pretty much, man, it's so family orientated, man. If I went to like a big PD double I whatever school, like them bigger schools, man, I don't know,
Hmm.
like I probably got lost in everything. But just being able to be around people that my color and stuff like that,
I can see that though, like just talking to you, because you seem like you humble, like just like for where you been and what level you got to. The fact that like we're having you, I'm taking you back through your high school days and through your start of it. You can see the humbleness, and you can also see your family instill some shit in you that you know what I'm saying, like most of us that played football that got to that level or wanted to get to that level. It was our dream since we was kids. You feel me? Like
yeah,
babies, like and the fact that you wanted to drive trucks and follow what your dad was doing and all that, and you knew, look, your mom and dad worked their ass off, and that was, that was instilled in you. That's what was going to happen, and then God showed you another way. Like we got another plan for you, right?
yes,
And
sir.
before you get into the plan you thought you was gonna have, I'm gonna give you these options first, and then let's see what you do with those, and then you already got a game two. So in the game two, you can come back to doing the stuff that you probably wanted to do all your life anyway, right? Like,
Yes, sir.
so with that being said, Grambling was the school you chose. You started the ball there. When did you realize, or when was it that you knew that the professional level could actually want to give you a shot?
Man, that didn't click into that didn't click into my junior year as well too, man.
So junior year is the theme. Junior
It's the
year is the
thing,
theme
man.
right now. Let's go.
It's the thing, man. Junior year, man. So because um, my freshman year I was ineligible. I ain't gonna lie, I was ineligible. We ended up winning the HBCU national championship that year, so that kind of was a bummer because just seeing the team
The team do it, and you ain't
going,
couldn't be a part of it.
it was kind of challenging at first,
But
but
was that a wake up though? Remember the 135 only getting up a couple times
no,
was your
that's
wake up. Was that
man,
a
that
wake
still
up?
wasn't a wake up. That wasn't a wake
Nah,
up either,
it's
man, because
college
like
life.
college,
College life in the way right
hey
now.
man,
There's too many black
man,
beautiful motherfuckers walking around. Hold up.
man, kicking it every damn day, dog. I ain't gonna lie,
Man,
that shit right there was a movie. But I would say um going into my sophomore year, let me see what happened going into my sophomore year. Sophomore year, that's when I finally got to play. And I ain't gonna lie, my offensive coordinator, he was the one that recruited me to come play. And he told me they was gonna give me a scholarship, even though they knew I was gonna be ineligible that going into it. They held my scholarship, so I stayed because I wasn't gonna do it. I didn't want to take out a loan just for that first year.
right.
But I ended up doing it. He was a man of his word, so I ended up, staying, and he continued to instill hope in me and continue to believe in me. So I decided to, repay him going into that junior year. And it was a lot of things that factored in that junior year because in college, it's still a business now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
And the fact that
they
they
started,
stuck with you, they believed in you, they
yeah,
stuck with you. So that I can see that. And you paid it for it,
now,
right? Like you felt that love. Like, you
man.
know what? Let me get my shit together because they didn't have to do that. They could have gave you a scholarship to any new person coming in that bitch.
Shit, they brought a couple more people in at my position, and they, strong, same size as me, things of that
Hmm.
nature can move. And I was like, okay, let me tighten up. It's time to, get right. And then that we also had got a new strength and conditioning coach
There it go.
that he came in. His name was Damon Harrington. I think he coaches. He's the conditioning coach at Texas State right now, but before that he was under I want to see who umbrella he was under. It was one of them big schools. I think California or something like that. He came from out in Cali, but it was a D1 school. I'm not sure what school it was. But then our conditioning coach before that came from Alabama. Like he was under that umbrella.
Okay.
But um but yeah, Damon Harrington, man, he pushed us, man. Them 2 days during the summer. That was probably my junior year is definitely the year where I I locked in. I tuned out everything. I started putting the right things in my body,
Hmm.
because that's where it starts at. You got to put the right things in
Yeah.
your body first. You know what I'm saying? So once I started putting the right things in my body, the workouts I was just killing the workouts. Like I was so fit. I was beating like skill players in conditioning drills and things of that nature. Like that's how fit I was. Like
The
for
light
instance,
bulb came
like
on.
yeah, man. Like me and Aaron Donald pretty much was in similar size my junior year. Like I would say I was a little heavier. Though. I was around 300 pounds. I ain't had no six pack now, but we had the same mold. I look like damn. I ain't gonna lie. I look like Superman, man. I look like something out of like a damn comic book, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Cause like my body is like it was like cause I got some turkey legs for calf muscles, man. For like my first step, like everything was just it was just crazy, man. But yeah, I had that junior year it was something else. So my first game was against I want to say Louisiana Tech, and that first game against Louisiana Tech, I knew right then after all the work I put in, it was starting to pay off because Louisiana Tech that was one of our schools as far as the bigger schools that we had to play that year,
Yeah, yeah.
and they had a guy over there that's currently in the AFC Conference Championship right now, Milton Williams on the D line.
You
I
went
had
up.
to
You
go
went against
against
him.
him.
Oh shit.
Man, dominated. I ain't gonna say that because I'm humble, but I
Nah, don't be
I
humble.
played a
You.
great game. I played a
That's
great
one of
game
them
against
games when the scouts turn the film on. They go,
yes,
okay.
yes. That's one of the games, man.
They turn the film
like
on. They go, okay.
man, there's a clip floating out there on Twitter. If people can look it up, Grambling versus Louisiana Tech. Like it was a pass play where I quick jumped him. I picked him up and I tossed him. Like it
Oh
was,
shit.
like it
And this
was, it
nigga in
was
the
nasty.
ACC, I mean AFC
Man, the
championships right
highest
now.
paid D lineman in I was thinking in the NFL right now. I think, man, but it
Mm-mm-mm.
was yeah, it was amazing, man. That right there really just like made the light click on and also just had the fuel starting to fuel up and the fire started to burn. And from that day on, from that game on, I just was hitting on all cylinders, man. And to be honest, I only played 2 years of college football as well because I didn't play my senior year. I declared after my junior year. I declared
So
after my
you left
junior
as a junior from an
year.
HBCU?
Yeah, I left as a junior.
That's
Man, and it's
nasty,
crazy,
bro. That's
bro.
nasty. That's
It's
nasty,
crazy
bro.
because
That's what's up. That's what's up.
man,
So
it's
take us through
like
that, man, because
oh,
that's a gamble like a motherfucker.
it
And
was.
usually, was you in school during this transfer
The
era, or you was
COVID,
before it?
this is
Oh,
this
during
is
COVID
no, I
years.
wish, man. That's the reason why I declared because
Yeah,
we
I
wasn't
already
gonna
know.
have a season,
Right, right,
we
right,
wasn't gonna
right.
have a season. And Jim Nagney, the Senior Bowl, I want to say the person over the Senior Bowl. The Senior Bowl is the biggest
Mm-hmm.
college All Star game you can go to. So he always used to put out like little posts and things of that nature about nominees that's gonna be possible for the game. And I
Right.
know he had me a couple of times, so you know, I was just agents were starting to hit me up during I was during COVID and everything, cause I really wanted to see. I ain't gonna lie. Well, let me just continue on what I'm talking about. But yeah, that let's say a couple of months later passed by. After they said only the bigger schools or D1 schools were gonna have their season, and we were gonna have to wait till like the spring. I just decided, okay, I'm gonna take a bet on myself, and I end up declaring. I got
And
me an
that's
agent.
God betting with you, bro. That's what that is.
Yeah,
That's God
man.
betting with your ass. So you take the gamble, bet on yourself. You got yourself an agent. All right, fast before we start getting to the game stuff. Take us to the process of how you got into the NFL.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. That shit it was smooth, honestly. I mean,
Did you get drafted?
it was, no, man. This is
Undrafted?
okay. So yeah, so it's pretty much okay. So I'm going through the process. So once I got the agent, we end up going. He ended up sending me to Houston, and I trained in Houston for like 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
Um, I want to say 2 or 3 months before the Senior Bowl. So the college D1 players, they were, or the bigger schools, I should say, they were, playing their season. And for me, I was just training.
Training the
I
whole
didn't play
time.
no games. I was just training. And you know, I want to say halfway through the college season, Jim Nagy they end up surprising me. Like my agent, they even had Doug Williams, the Hall of Fame quarterback from Grambling State that won
Grambling
the
State,
first
yeah.
Super Bowl, for the black quarterback. He came to Houston and he presented me, you know, the
The All Star joint.
yeah, the Senior Bowl, joint. Yeah,
I know that
so
feeling was like, damn.
man,
Because that's
it
the
was
next step
crazy,
right there.
man.
Now you get to show
Yeah,
it
that's the
to,
next
you
step.
know what I mean? Like, damn. I know that felt good. Then you got a Hall of Famer like that coming, bro.
Yeah.
Dang.
So like when that happened, that's when I was like, oh yeah, this my what people dream of is finna become a reality for me.
Right, right.
So that made me just put even more overtime work. But
I
once
think
that
this though,
happened,
not to cut you off. I think some
yeah,
people can get like people that's got younger kids or people that might end up listening to this and hearing your story. The one thing that don't get lost in it is when it came down to it, the work you put in is all that mattered.
man, you got to put the work in. It don't matter how talented you is or who you know. If you
Hmm.
ain't putting the work in, man, they ain't gonna they're not gonna pick you. You gotta put the work in because once you do put the work, if you don't put the work in and they do pick you, you're gonna get exposed at the end of the day.
Exposed right away. Yep.
So so I trusted the work that I was putting in. Going into the Senior Bowl, and I mean it was tough because you gotta think these guys are playing games, they're getting the reps in and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
I'm not facing like live targets every day and stuff like that,
You
so
just
I don't know
individually
how I
doing your
feel to
workouts.
yes I don't know how I feel to sit down on a bull rush or go against a guy that's fast and coming off the edge or things of that nature. So
Right.
I just had to go in, go into the Senior Bowl, just
Raw
mentally
dog
prepared
and just
it.
go in that
Yeah,
bitch and get it
pretty much.
in.
Yeah, pretty much, man. So got down there. Who was in my draft class? Mac Jones, Kadarius Tony. There's a lot of guys.
Oh, you
Jamar
had some
Chase, but he wasn't
guys.
there. Yeah, Jamar Chase, but them. He always going number one and all that, number
Right.
two, whatever pick he was.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
it
he
was
didn't
just a
have to
few
do
guys that
none of that
wasn't
shit.
there, but it was a lot of guys that's noticeable guys that were there. So went down there. Um, man, it was amazing, man. I ended up winning offensive lineman of the week.
While you was there for the
Then
All Star
yeah,
game?
I ended up for the All Star game. Quentin
Damn.
Miners is my guy, the highest offensive guard in the league right now. That's my guy, man. He came from a D3 school, and just seeing him do his thing, that just shows me something, and it just makes me happy. But he won on the opposite side of me, and I won.
Okay.
So I went to me being D1 D2 school. I won the offensive lineman of the week on my side, and him being from a D3 won on his side.
That's what's
Against
up.
like guys from Alabama, Florida State,
Yeah.
these bigger schools and stuff like that. So it was amazing, man. And I once I won that, I ain't gonna lie, I definitely thought that I was gonna at least go like 6 or 7 round.
So let me
You
ask you
know,
this: when it came down to the draft and the draft closes out, because I already know your agent, because I got family that been through these processes and all that shit too. Like, so what happens is they start telling you like, if it ain't gonna happen, it don't matter. Sometimes it's best that you could choose your own damn team. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Versus getting drafted. So did your agent start having that conversation with you? Like, look, these are the teams that are interested in you once the draft is over.
yeah. I actually had a couple teams that was texting me while the draft was still
While the draft is
going.
happening? Damn.
Yeah, man. This was like around the fifth round. I know. I know the Patriots wanted me. Well, they say they wanted me. The Eagles coach Nick Sirianni texted me himself, saying, reached out to me. I'm not for sure what exactly he said, but it was something to the likes of, just him being interested in me,
Right.
and had him reach out. The Broncos reached out. They sent me like a little intro theme video of them, stadium and all this and that. Um, and then I had the Patriots. They O line coach actually texted me. He was texting me. He said that I want to say it was like the sixth round. It was the sixth round. He was like, "Man, I want to get you this pick, but it's gonna be up to whoever, I guess the GM or
The
whoever to,
GM,
make the
yeah.
pick." Yeah, so, he wanted to pick me right there, but everything happens for a reason. But
Yep.
I want to say around it was towards the end of the sixth round where my agent was telling me he had some stuff lined up just in case it doesn't pan out as far as me being drafted because man I was sitting there and my name was on the board. It was like how I say the top person for this position.
Yep. Yep.
Man, my shit was sitting right there number one for like the longest, bro. I was like, bro, what? What we
I know that
doing?
shit was stressful as hell. Like,
Like,
oh
well,
my
bro,
god,
what,
the
bro?
fuck? I'm sitting there,
Like,
number
what
one
we
on the
doing?
board. Somebody come
Like,
get me.
bro.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man. But like just looking back at it, I can understand like being really just my junior year. I think if I had my senior year, I definitely for
You think
sure,
you somewhere between third and
I'm
fourth round?
100% guaranteed. Nah, and I'm not even a cocky guy. I know for a fact that I would have been around that range for sure. And that's the year. That same year where I had one of my homeboys, Pierre Strong. He came out the following year, so that would have been really a pretty good draft. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. After the draft happened, I ended up going to Carolina first. I ended up going to Carolina first,
You was in camp with
and
him?
yeah, I was in Camp Carolina. And then Carolina was pretty good. I like the city out there. It was cool, And who was the coach at the time? Matt Rule was the coach at the time, and he used to call me D Block. He used to
D
call me
block.
D Block. Yeah, so yeah, man, he was a cool guy. Everybody up there was cool, man. I got a couple stories from up there, but after camp, I ended up going and signing with the Browns, and I was there for like really the last 2 years. My 2 years that I was there, they came and got me, and man, I wasn't used to the cold like that, man. That cold is something different up there, man.
In
I'm so used to
Cleveland,
being
right? Like
down
that
south.
shit,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Man,
That
I
shit
ain't gonna lie,
nothing
man. It was
like
great.
down south ain't
Yeah.
fucking with that type of weather.
Shit, not at all. And it's crazy because, like, even when you snow, it's like how we snowed in right now, man, they up and rolling. They don't matter. They got them roads are clear
Yeah,
as
not
day.
playing
Like,
around, right?
not playing
Yeah, yeah,
around,
that's it.
man.
Get cold down here in this weather. So you had to. So all right. So you had 2 years with Cleveland, right?
Yeah, 2 years with Cleveland.
All right. So just real fast, so we can get into the actual game and the interview for you for your interview for the Oregon job. Real quick, just the 2 years. Just a quick summary of the experience you had playing in the NFL.
That's everything people say, man. That shit is amazing. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Like,
When
how
you
was
just
it
wake
playing
up,
other? You know what I mean? Getting up and getting into the environment, like the game week, and then you see
uh,
nothing but guys we watch on TV every day, and you're right there.
bro, to be honest, man, uh, it just felt, I ain't gonna lie, it felt normal. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It just felt normal. Like, yeah, I'd never really been starstruck. The only time I say I was starstruck is when we had like I had did it was during a training camp. It was a scrimmage against Green Bay.
Okay.
And just seeing Aaron Rodgers, like somebody you grew up
Yeah,
watching, you
boy.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, damn, that's him right there, and just seeing a lot of guys, they come across. But I would say, the preparation. Uh, you just wake up, man. It's pretty like, man. You have so much free time, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's just so much free time, and it's a blessing and a curse. So
Yeah, I was ready to say that. Blessing and a curse. What you do with that
it's
free
like
time?
what you gonna do with that free time. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, man, you just practice. Practice is pretty much something that was really easy. You go shells probably 1 or 2 days out the week. Rest of the time you up on your feet. And in shorts and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, and also,
Did you feel like you
recovery.
belong though? Like the whole time, like
Oh
I
yeah, most
belong here.
definitely, man. I
Like
ain't gonna lie. I never really like. It's crazy because it's a lot of guys they like recorded their clips and stuff like that from
yeah.
practices and all that. But I never did that. But it's like, bro, I had so many clips that I could have recorded, but I never really was never just that. I guess because
Well, you seem
I never.
humble.
It's
Like you
just
already humble as shit. Like that shit just like
yeah,
listening to your story. This the summary I got. Like you you had motivation that pushed you into doing something that you really didn't care about at the time, and then
yeah,
each step you made and each time you did certain stuff, it gave you the belief and the want. And then the other
yeah,
part of it was just your work ethic, and that's what it sounded like. It just sound like you come from good stock, bro. That's what it sound like, and it sound like you humble. You know what I mean. At the same time, you're a dog, and that dog got you to the highest level that most of us dream of, bro. I'm getting chills just talking about that shit, bro. Cause like I know, right? Like not to just talk about myself, but my family background. Like I had three that went to the league, bro. Like and one that was the second pick in the NBA. You feel me? Like and I thought I
damn,
was on my way to all that shit. Things happen, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And your path is everything. If you can't stay on course and you derail it, you bet shit. Not a lot of people get other chances at all, right?
yeah,
And not a lot of people's in your shoes do what you did, bro. That's not easy to do to start playing football as a junior and then get to college and got to go through that same process to really start taking it serious as a junior again and then get stopped from that senior year because of COVID, but you still made something out of yourself in that process. Like that's big,
yes,
bro.
sir.
Like I look up to that, bro. I respect you for that. You know what I mean? Like
Appreciate
that's
that,
real
man.
big. Now let's talk about you finding my league and becoming uh, the coach of this North Carolina State football team. First of all, how did you find the league? I'm obviously showing Kemp and all of them got you in, but like, talk to me
Man,
about that part, like, because you said you wasn't even playing the game for a couple of years.
yeah, man. So pretty much, man, I was so heavy invested in 2K. I'm a 2K guy, man. So
Right back to your
I
basketball origin.
yeah, man. Right back to it,
That's how,
dog.
bro. You and Falk got so much
Man,
in common right now, bro. He was the same way.
man. Right back into it. But yeah, man, just being around the guys and just they used to talk about the league so much, like, oh, we got a game, who you gotta play this week. And I was just a treat because I didn't play the college last year either, so I'm still learning, like, the ins and outs as far as recruiting and just certain little tricks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I end up I was like, okay, I'm curious, so let me hop in the league because I ain't gonna lie, I always been a good man in college, well, man, on any type of football game player, but I knew I ain't played in a while, so I was like, let me get back on the sticks and stuff like that. So, I'm always a cocky guy when it comes to the game and stuff like that. I believe I can beat anybody. So, I thought I could, I ain't gonna lie, I thought I could come in the league and just run through
and
y'all.
just
But
run through it. Yeah, it's a process, bitch. Look, you in your junior year right now on the game. You in your junior year. What we
yeah,
the
man.
process? Everything starts
Oh
as the
man.
third year. Let's go.
Woo. Hey man.
So
Shoot,
how
y'all
was
boys
that wake
helping
up?
me.
Because your first game coming in, you had to play Falk.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I just thought, from, being experienced as far as, it's a game, so some
Yeah,
things gonna happen and stuff like that. But, I felt pretty confident in, the schemes that I was gonna run. We had a good game, and then I kind of fell down from there because I started to, get busy. Cause I didn't know if I was really gonna take it serious at first. But then, I started to come around. I was like, okay, I'm really starting to enjoy this, and
that's what's up.
the way you guys, the way you, in the commissioners, how the way y'all hold the league up, man. Y'all treat this like it's something, like what gamers really want to play. Treat it
That's
like
the
how it is
goal.
supposed to do. You know what I'm
Give you a
saying? So
reality TV show with this bitch. That's the goal, man. and it
Yeah,
come
man.
down to how
So
much you invested in that bitch. And our last 2 seasons, you've been locked in, and that's part of the reason why you got getting this interview for the Oregon job, because now that you actually locked in and you're playing your games and you invest in your team and you know your players now and you understand. Let me ask you this: when they first was telling you how what our league was about, did we live up to that expectations once you got in?
shit, surpassed it, man.
My,
I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't know what to expect at first, man. But I ain't never been a part of like a football league where they do the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? The
appreciate
interviews,
that.
just everything. Cause and it's just like ESPN sometimes. You feel me?
Yeah,
And that's what I
yeah,
watch. I watch that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's like, what I'm saying? So it's pretty cool, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's not a lot of guys like you out there, man.
Appreciate
When
that.
it comes to
Appreciate
this.
that. All right, so look, North Carolina State is having a really good year this year, right? You was able to go out there and get the boosters to buy in. You not just that, you was able to go get some talent to buy in. How hard is it going to be? Some of these guys that came in because of you, they're playing for your football program because of you. And right now, y'all got a big game to play in a little bit, and you're on an interview to go take a higher job. Now, I talked to one of your kids, which was your quarterback, the coldest. And he was saying, without saying it, he following you. But he also said he would never be mad at you because you either get terminated or elevated. And you put the work in to be able to get yourself in a situation to get a better job, right? Um,
Yep.
so my question would be for you is you did the work you had to do and you actually turned this North Carolina State team around. And so talk to me about the decision to be able to get to this point where you got an opportunity to take this Oregon job.
Man, well, pretty much, man. It all comes down to the kids, man. The kids that we got on the roster from the last couple of years, like from my first year here, how
Hmm.
we've been able to build, stack days. You know what I'm saying? And for them to believe in me as a coach, you know, to go out here and follow the game plan that I have for us, sit and play the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, the special teams coordinator, for them to entrust in us, with their future, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So, for them to do that, it's all because of them, man. That's how I'm here right now, man. It's all because of those kids, man.
If you was to get the Oregon job, I'm quite sure you taking your staff with you, right? But my question would be, offensively, I need 3 guys, and then defensively, I need 3 guys. That's a must-have. Like they got to hit the portal the
So,
moment you step foot out of Oregon. I mean, I step foot out of North Carolina.
like you said, man, the first person you spoke of, man, Dakotas. His name says it all, man. Dakotas, gotta have him. QB1, gotta have him. And you know what? We have another guy, Deshaun Hines. He's the brother of I want to say what's the running back that
The
played
Hines
for?
that played for them. I
Yes,
know exactly
yes,
what you're talking
yes,
about.
yes, yes.
His
So
first name going to slip my mind right now. But if y'all, all
yeah,
right, here's a 2 speed 2 XL for the person that could tell us the running back that played for the Colts. He was a North Carolina State tailback. His last name was Hines, and he ended up playing his career at the Colts for a little bit. He was nice too when he got there. If you could tell me his first name, I'll give you a 2 speed 2 XL. But all right, so the quarterback, the coldest, and Hines is coming. They the type of kids you will hope want to hit the portal and come with you, right?
yes, sir.
And these
And
guys are
then
program changers too, right? You're looking at 2 sophomores.
definitely,
Naeem Hines,
definitely.
there it go, right there. Roger the Rabbit got it. Yep, there you go. Send me your player. It got to be a freshman. It could be a redshirt freshman or a true freshman. 2 speed 2 XL on him. Um, All right, so all right, so let's talk about getting Dakota's Juan. You had this is his second year with you, and he's bought into the system now. How first of all, tell me, why y'all playing the level y'all playing at right now because of him and how he bought into the system. What was the work like to get him to understand what you was trying to, what y'all was selling him in a sense when it come out to the scheme?
We knew that he was gonna go through some pains because of him being a freshman. Some growing pains. So, um, but he bought into the system right away, man. It's just, he just, he's wet behind the ears when it comes to this football game in the college. So, well,
Okay.
his first year he was. So, he would make overthrows, you know, and just just be shaken up, rattled, So coming into his second year, we sat down with him, me, the offensive coordinator, the QB coach, and we told him, tell us what some of the things that you like to do, because sometimes coaches can be stuck in what they
And
want to do.
what they want to
You
do,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
yeah.
so we sat him down, we talked to him, and we came to a mutual agreement that we still want to run some of the things we want to do, but we want to make sure that he's comfortable within our system. So we gave him a lot of leeway to do what he wants, on that field. So if he wants to change a play, change a route, we'll allow him to do that, because we trust in him. So he's been showing us why we should trust him.
I know one thing: when you got a quarterback that buy in, and then he put the work in, and then he get the others, because at the quarterback position, you got to be a leader at that position,
Yes,
and he
has
get
to
the
be.
others to buy in. He was quoted in an interview that I'm a read real fast of him saying that the off season stuff is what made you guys get to the level y'all are right now, because not only did he buy into what y'all was teaching him, but he also took it to 12 in the morning workouts where he had guys come in and they go to their old high school and they travel and fly in and put the work in where they running through the scripts of the plays and just getting a connection with each other together, man. So to me, that's a culture built, right? And coming from all the levels of football you came from. Talk to me about how important it is to build a culture.
If you don't have a culture, you're not gonna win in this game. I can tell you that for sure. If you don't have a culture, then your team, your family, pretty much, the family is not gonna be stable. It's not gonna be
Hmm.
stable. You're gonna have people that want to be in a family, people doing their own thing, you know, and you just want to be able to come to each other as man and as a family about any problem that we have. So like we took a couple losses this year, and the team they have their own players only meeting because
Gotcha.
that's how much they're bought into this
Player
season,
led
into this
teams usually
team. You
win.
feel me?
Yep.
So, so we that's one thing I commend them for, and I'm grateful for. I have such great leaders on this team, to where I don't have to, the coaches don't have to always step in and say something. We have our leaders like Dakotas. You have some seniors on the team, Holyfield. That just sits, everybody down, just calm them down. You know what I'm saying, and just listen, because everybody's bought in, man. We got some dollars, man. So that's what I would say, man. It's really the players, man. Honestly.
If I'm giving you this Oregon job, right, you're going to come into a program that's going to have way more resources than you had at North Carolina State. You're going to come into a program that got top notch athletes throughout the roster already. Um, so my question for you would be: only thing Oregon has been missing is being a top 10 team in homecoming league. What's your vision, and how do you explain to me how you'll make this team a top 10 team?
I feel like, for example, I mean, what I got right now with NC State, man, we built in 2 years, you know, that we've been fully invested. We've, turned this team around and made them a great team, man. Sometimes you're gonna go, you need a change of scenery, because it's only so much you can do with the talent that you have when you're going to get some dogs in the ACC, man. When you're going to get some dogs in the ACC, it's only so much you can do with the talent that you have, man, and the recruits that you can bring in, because you're fighting an uphill battle, with North Carolina, Clemson,
Yeah.
Florida State, with these recruit battles, man. And it's tough. It's challenging. You try your best, even when you put all the time you have into a player. They always commit to a different school. You know that. But I just think that with Oregon and being the prestige program that it is, that we can make some things shake, man. We can make a lot of things. We can change. We can move some things in the room, man. With that
They
program,
already got
man.
a blueprint of the entire map. So, but they are going to be based, they old Pac-12, right? So they're really going to be based
Yeah.
in the West Coast.
Yes, sir.
If I give you
Yep.
this job, that's the one thing that I want you to explain to me. How do you convince those guys on the West Coast that the big Nike program is the program to come to, especially coming from the East Coast.
The big Nike program, man, come from the East Coast. I mean, do you like sunny weather? I'm gonna say, do you love some good weather? Well, actually, do you love winning football? Because that's the main thing you're gonna be here for. That's the main thing you're gonna be here for, regardless. So, do you love some winning football? If you love winning football, then I need all dogs over here, dog. I don't need no cats. We don't need none of that. If you ain't no pit, you a pup. Stay home. We need them pits over here. We don't need nothing else but dogs. You know what I'm saying? So if you ready to work, put that hard work in, put your boots on, you know what I'm saying, get your tools and go to work, then this is the program that you want to come to for sure, man. Because we're gonna get it out the mud for sure. Because that's how I got it out the mud. So I'm gonna instill into my players that you got to get out the mud. And when you got them type of players on your team, anything is possible. So if you're that type of player, because I know the East Coast they get ruggy over there. Like, I know they got some players that they dirty over there. You know what I'm saying? Some dogs. So I know they know how to get it out the mud over there. So come on to the West Coast. Have some good weather, some great winning football. You know what I'm saying? And hey, the NIL deals now. Come on. You know what I'm
The-
saying? Hey,
and that's one thing. I mean, you got the guy that run Nike sitting right in your
come on
program, and
now.
he's ready to infuse to a coach that he believes in.
Yes, sir.
Um, but one of the things he was interested in is how do you get into that California pipeline? Like, what will be one of the main things you can do to help keep those guys on the West Coast? Like, keep the top talent in California on the West Coast.
The only way I can keep the top talent on the West Coast and win, man. And that's the only thing I'm focused on is winning. And if like I said again, man, if they want to win, then they need to come to this program because we're building. Not only actually we're building a program to where for this is what my coach always told me. Now I don't know. It's like I don't need you guys to visualize this. So football. Okay, so the way he would do this, he would say school first,
Got you.
but in reality, and we'll be looking at him, but he'll have school second in his with his hands, football second, and then in his hands football will be one, and then the rest is history. So over here is football first.
Hmm.
If you can think about it, football first, school second. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna make sure everybody's up on their grades for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because we do want our students to graduate, whether they go on to the next level or not. 'Cause I was able to graduate. I was able to graduate. My college. So I want them to be able to, still be able to have a career path after football if they're not able to make it to that next level. I want everybody to make it to the next level though. That's our plan. We want all our guys to get there. But we want to make sure they graduate, they have a great education as well. So,
If we give you
so
this Oregon job, right, you're going to come into one of the better rosters uh, in college football. Not just that, you're going to come into a talented team already. So the first thing is this: when changes make, changes go everywhere, right? So just like
yeah.
it's going to be players on North Carolina State that would love to follow you to Oregon, how do you? What's your plan and roster retention to keep the guys that are on this roster to believe that you are the guy that they should follow and stay with this team?
Man, that's a good question. It's kind of the way I would say the way I would do that. Looking at a team. We got a lot of seniors leaving. You know, but we still got a young team. But I just would tell them starting the off season, just seeing what we bring in as far as like training and off season workouts, the message that we are preaching, and see if they can vibe with the message that we're preaching to them. As far as from me, all the way down to the special teams coordinator. You know what I'm saying? So I just want them to hear me out first of all, and see the actions that we're taking to improve this program in general, not just football, but just the program, the Oregon Duck College in general. So
Got you.
if they can do that, then I think we'll have a good chance of retaining them.
So in your coming, you gonna have intro meetings with the players, like individually group with the players and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
How
oh
much
yeah,
will
most
your
definitely.
coaching staff play a role in that?
My coaching staff, as far as the means with the individual players,
Yep, because they gonna spend more
um,
time with position coaches than they will with you.
well, yeah, that's true, but I definitely love to have a relationship with all my players, though. It might not be, a everyday thing, but as long as they know my face and know my voice and know that we have a solid relationship and they can come to me about anything, then that's all I care about, So I want them to be able to come to me, even the last guy on the depth chart, I want him to be able to come to me and be able to talk to me as if he was starting, and just tell me how you feel and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure everybody is heard throughout the roster, throughout the
So
team.
you've been a blue collar guy, not just a coach, a blue collar guy all your life, and your path and your story is very interesting. The question is, we in the NIL era now. How do you toe the lines with guys that's going to hold you for ransom once you take this program, right? They're going to try to hold you for ransom for more money. How do you toe the lines in those guys that will actually command more money and actually should get it versus those that you're going to look at and say, you know what? Because you got to build your culture, right? So you're gonna
Yeah,
it's going to be guys that you're going to ask to leave that's on this Oregon roster, and it's going to be guys you need
yeah.
to keep to help
hmm
you build, continue to build what this team is already looking like. How do you toe the lines in between the two of it? Like, how do you know what players to say, nah, you can go, and what players you have to keep?
Man, that's a good question. Me and my coaches, when we first heard about the chance of getting this job, this opportunity, well, me getting this opportunity, we did a lot of extensive research, a lot of film study, a
That's
lot of
it
film
right there.
study,
Go ahead. I'm
a lot
listening.
of
Got
film
my
study,
attention
man.
now.
Man, did a lot of film study on certain guys. Well, we're really the whole team, honestly. Even the guys were sleeper players, where we
Hmm.
think we might be able to help our team in the future, and we was just studying guys, man. They got some dogs, man, and they got some guys that were starting for them that, in my opinion, shouldn't have been starting in the first place, but
Hmm.
it's the nature of the game, though. So, um, yeah, we'll know how to weave them out. Definitely know how to weave them out for sure.
You know how when coaches come in and say, you know what, we got open competition for every position. You know how to go with new coaches, right? And
Yeah,
you're gonna have guys on the team that's gonna not believe that shit at all, right? And then there's gonna be guys on the team that take you serious and be like, fuck that, I'm a starter. If he's talking about open position, I'm out of here. How do you deal with that, right? Like how do you get these guys to compete?
well, if they have a problem with competition, they shouldn't be on my team at all. I'm just
I
as
like
point blank,
that.
period.
I
You know what I'm
like that.
saying?
I
So,
like that. I like that. All right, so you get this job, NIL ain't gonna be an issue.
yes, sir. It gonna be an issue.
What Oregon is looking for is not being 4-7 and 2-6 in conference play. What Oregon is looking for is a coach that's going to come in and change the culture of this football program and make them a top 10 football team. And they want it done in 2 seasons. They think their roster, if you keep these guys that's on the roster and then bring in what you're bringing in, along with the NIL package you're going to get, they want to know how how you see that happening, right? Because you got 2 years, you're gonna have a 5-year contract if you get this job, but they want to see improvement and the season that's up and coming, 2033. They want to see a improvement in win loss totals. How do you reach that?
Every day, every day we come in this office. Not even when we come in the office, the coaching staff. I need pretty much the whole college institution, like everybody on campus. I need them all bought into this
Bought
team
in,
because
yep.
this is I need this school is a prestigious college. It's up there with some of the great colleges. So I need them all bought in. So we'll have certain events, where people can come out and just support us, and then we'll support their events as well. So just getting I want to bring a family orientated you know what I'm saying, environment to a PWI, a big school like this. You feel
And
me?
that was the
Compared to
one
how I
problem
play.
with the
Yeah,
old Oregon coach. They
yeah,
wanted, they feel like if you going, they want to see the development happening. And Oregon wasn't doing a good job in high school recruiting. They actually fell off from the high school recruiting that they were in 2025. Um,
yeah.
and it was all about the portal. And portal could be mercenary players where you get them for a year and then they out. They not really locked into what you actually trying to sell them. I'm
Right.
reading part of your resume right now out loud so people can hear it. One of the first things you said you wanted to do for to keep those West Coast California kids on the West Coast and choosing Oregon was hire good high school coaches from the West Coast on teams that were known as winners, where you can have a relationship with some of these high school coaches and get them to be that to benefit from their use of the high school kids that they know. So, how do you plan on bringing in some of these West Coast coaches from high schools to be a part of this Oregon program to help you with recruiting in California?
I mean, I feel like me being a young coach, still kind of a young coach, so I kind of I can relate to this generation of kids. Not that much older than them, so and then also those coaches as well are not that much older than them as well. So I'm gonna bring them in, and we can all relate some way. So it's like I want them to, like I said, when it comes to the relationships with my students, my athletes, be one a core on one link, just be locked in together. So what I'm gonna do is, I got some guys that I know that I've been knowing for a while on the West Coast, and after talking to them, I've been telling them, if I was to ever leave NC State, and maybe get a bigger gig, that just be on the lookout because I will be calling your phone. So I've been talking to them for a while now. I've been knowing them for a couple of years. I played with a couple of those guys as well, actually. Um, some of their cousins and uncles. So just
So the
talk to
pipeline there
them.
because you dealing
Yeah.
with guys that got kids and the kids that are yeah, like all right. So
Yep.
my question is this: we're in the Big Ten, right? You're coming from the ACC. And there's been an argument in our homecoming chat that the ACC is just better right now. The Big Ten, it was SEC, Big Ten, ACC, Big 12, and over the last four
Hmm.
seasons, it seems like the ACC has taken the front of the best conference in our league. Um, Tell me how you being in the best conference will help you play in be able to coach in the Big Ten.
Man, just bringing that competition, man. Bringing somebody that wants to win, somebody that's not okay with mediocre, someone that wants to shake things up, man. I feel like the ACC is a great. Nah, I ain't gonna say great. Is the best conference, because of the talent that we have in there, man. There's some dog fights every week, man. Every week, man. You can't you got one game you facing Clemson. Look down, okay, now you got to face North Carolina, man. Oh, then you got Florida State. It just goes down the list, man. And just being able to play those guys and iron sharpening iron is gonna definitely help me coming over to the Big Ten. I'm not gonna lie, the Big Ten does have some guys over here. You got USC. Right now they're currently ranked number 4. Got Ohio State, which I thought, was looking kind of scary for them, early on in the season, but to be able to withstand, that storm and continue to fight. Now they're ranked number 8. You got Penn
Big
State,
Ten
who's
Suite.
come out the blue and just, put the league on notice at number 9,
Osu
10-1.
S.
So they got some competition over here. But I feel like, I can come over here and, stir the pot up a little bit as well. So we're definitely looking forward to, coming in and pretty much, honestly putting my stamp on this, putting them on notice, to be honest, when I come over here and just show them that it's real. You feel me? So I'm gonna
As
see
the
what they talking
Oregon,
about. I'm gonna go from
as the
there.
Oregon administration, we're looking for a guy that could come in and give us wins. We feel like you
Yes.
are a guy that can do that. We feel like with the resources that you had in North Carolina State, not only the resources you came into with, but the resources you gained. Like you got guys that play in the NFL and boosters to start giving back to that program. Um, and we feel like our network is way bigger and better than most networks in college football. So if I'm giving you these resources, I give you this football team with this roster, and the three things I want from you is one, roster retention, two, wins, not in this order, and three, if we're gonna give you a $40 to $60 million NIL budget to go get the players, do you feel like you can meet all three of those goals?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right, so you talked to me already about roster retention and players being able to get, we're going to stand behind our brand. The Oregon Duck brand itself can get the players. We know that. Now, as the head coach of this football team, we looking for the wins, and we feel like your resume has shown us enough in the 3 years that you've been at North Carolina State, because to us, North Carolina State is like a group of five school when it comes down to us Oregon Duck alums and guys that make decisions. And you turned that program into a ranked football team, and playing meaningful football in the strongest conference in the ACC. When we looking for that with the Oregon Ducks, so would you be willing to take a lesser contract for more NIL money, or would that be a problem for you?
I love winning, sir, so I'll definitely take less of a contract for the NIL money. Yes, sir.
All right, so we're looking at a 5-year deal at $5 million a year.
Conference. Loudly crying face.
They snap and talk about the strongest conference. 5-year deal at $5 million a year, and we are going to infuse you somewhere between 40 to 60 million when it comes out of NIL to rebuild this roster and keep the guys that you feel is going to be fitting what you're trying to do. And yeah, and then in that 5 years, you got in your clause will be in 2 seasons we need to see you as one of the top 3 teams in the Big Ten.
Sounds good to me.
All right, folks, there y'all go. Nice little interview. We got one more interview to do with the UCLA coach, and then we'll get back to y'all, and all those that are watching will be able to comment in the chat right now.
But go off rolling on the floor laughing.
Man, nobody give a fuck about y'all SEC. If I'm from the ACC, I'm gonna say we the best conference in football. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm talking to an ACC coach. Fuck off his interview.
That shit a free run in the SEC, man. What the fuck out of here? Who that in the SEC talking?
You know it
free
is,
run?
Mac. You already know
be
it
free
is.
run.
It is free run.
It's free
you know
run.
It is.
Yo,
yeah.
free run. What's up, my nigga? Fuck out of here, y'all sweet ass conference. Niggas get 40 scored on them in a quarter.
So we got our play. We got the Oregon players locked into your matchup against North Carolina State. And as just me as the athletic director for Oregon, I don't care if you win the football game. What I want to see is this is the most pressured game you're gonna have, and here's why. I'm not saying the game is going to determine you getting this job or not, but what I want to see is this: you're in the middle of an interview right before a big ass game against North Carolina, right? A rival game. And your team knows that you are looking to take another job right now. How can you keep them locked in to play a competitive game against the North Carolina Tar Heels with all these circumstances around them right now? You know it's hard to keep kids' attention when they think their coach is leaving. It's all types of things. So this is what we're looking for. We're looking for you to get into this North Carolina game and give us a show. And then we'll get back to you. I appreciate you sitting down with us. Appreciate listening to your story. It's a hell of a real life story, as well as the story of you trying to take over this Oregon Ducks team right now. We got one more interview to do, and after that interview, we're gonna make our decision. We already shut it down. You yourself just stopped me from interviewing 3 other teams, so just let you know that off the top right now. You stopped me from interviewing 3 other coaches for this job. There's only one other coach that we're going to sit down with and find out how they feel and what they can do for us as a program, and then we're going to get back to you. So good luck in your game against North Carolina, and I appreciate you for coming on. And lock in, and I'll get back to you through DM to let you know the situation.
Yes, sir, man.
Rolling on the floor laughing.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
See you on the field. Ricky!
Yes, sir.
That nigga Ricky, all boys in the hood, running through the alley and shit. That's free run new name.
Free run, Ricky.
Free run Ricky. Free run.
How you like that interview, Falk?
Interview was good, man. If I was picking, I already know who I'm picking. I don't gotta see nobody else.
I think UCLA got a really good story too, Coach Roger over there, man. We're gonna find out though. What time y'all game
Roger,
kick off?
man, about to kick off shortly.
Gotcha. All right. When I get back, next time we on, make sure y'all tune in, man. We're gonna be on for that second interview. I'm gonna schedule it and figure out when it's gonna be. And I'll get back to y'all. With that being said, man, I'm gonna hit you. Already know how we do it, bro. Ain't nobody leave fucking with homecoming, just so you know. We're gone.
Ricky!
Free run Ricky. Hey, no, Ricky ain't had no free run. That nigga got caught at the back and top of the alley. Bang, 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 bang.
That's why I said it. That's why I said
He
it.
got
You
caught
said
at the
that
top of the
before,
alley.
Shaw.
Yeah, look,
Oh, my
he
son.
got motherfucking caught with the commission tag.